Hey, how's it going, channel family? Welcome back. Welcome back. Oh boy, boy. Time, precious time. How little do I have, and how little do we have, and how fleeting it is, you know? Yeah, that that exhaustible currency, that you can never get back. Boy, haven't had a lot of it. Haven't had a lot of it, but thankfully I've had a little bit of time to make these builds and a little bit of time to talk to y'all and to respond to comments and respond to emails and stuff. So thank you for all the engagement that you guys provide for me, and I hope to reciprocate in kind. Today we're taking a look at version 5, I believe, yeah, version 5 of the Fossilizer combiner, and of course it's utilizing all three bots, 100% of the bits. And before we go into that, yeah, again, just wanted to say my gratitude and appreciation for those of you who are giving me your time right now and watching this. Really, I can't say it enough. I could say it in every video, and it won't ever be enough. And that your time is absolutely your most valuable currency. And so, yeah, thank you so much for joining me. Whether it's your first time, second time, or repeat times, it just again my gratitude and thank you so very much. And if you are new, by the way, check out the playlist. There's tons of stuff for you to look at while you're cooking, eating, playing with toys, taking a dump, or taking a shower, whatever, there's just stuff in there for you to take a look at. And so, yeah, check out the playlist description. It's in the description. But yeah, check out this guy. He's pretty cool. Check out his back bit. It's supposed to kind of give him this, like, how kangaroos stand on their tail. It's kind of like that, but if you don't want that, you can just flip it upward and you could have it become like murder stabby weapon, kind of like a scorpion. But he's pretty stable. Well, as I say, he's pretty stable. He takes a quick tumble, but yeah, you could have that however you want. Just plug that in. What I was primarily trying to do with the back part was like have the rack face, the paleo face, and then the Wingfinger. What I had actually done originally was I'd plug them in at the mouth like that, so it could be like a face on face like type thing, but I couldn't get it quite right. Or maybe I'll try to do it right now. I shouldn't be doing these things on camera, but hey, that's not bad. That's not bad actually. I kind of like that, and that just seems like a legit tail. We'll go with that for now. Yeah, cool. We discovered something together, gang. Hey, cool. Kudos to us. But yeah, you could do all sorts of things. You could use it as a different weapon if you want, but primarily the front of the bot is where the party's at, and he is a archer. He got that bow thing going on, and his other hand, he has this stabby spear. Call it an arrow if you want, and there's this fake quiver. Ha, gang, hey, I remember the word now. I think it was RR and Wickenru who were like, quiver fool. I was like, that's right, because I forgot what that was called. But yeah, so you got the fake quiver back there, and then yeah, the other fake quiver thing in his hand. And Robin Quiver is hanging out with Howard Stern. I don't know if they still do that show, but yeah, shout outs to Howard Stern and Robin Quivers. But there we go. There we go. I think he's so cool. I think he's so cool. I think the focus is not quite adjusting, but that's all right. And actually, I have made a V6 since the time of this recording, actually. And if you've noticed, V4, V5, and V6, they kind of share this like similar template in the legs, and they're not exactly the same because the torsos are different, so the weight distribution is a little off. But anyway, if you take a look at V4 and V5, and then eventually V6, you'll see that they're all related. But I'm gonna break this guy down for you, ahorita, right now. This over here is his let me move homie to the side so we don't mess with the shadows and then the focus. So this over here is the bow, and this is made using the lower half of the Wingfinger body. Then you have the Paleo calves plugged in, and then you got the Paleo blades plugged into the side as well. I mean, Wingfinger blades, Wingfinger spears, and cool. We got a very neat arm, and this is actually the entire forearm, and that's going to plug into the bot. So let me just move that to the side. The other arm is there's little bits of pieces of paper stuck in here because I had to tighten up the joints. The other arm, this one's a little bit unique, and it took a little bit of fidgeting to get it to work. But the whole thing is, you see, this is the rack hip covering, the rack rubber tail, and here you have the crest. And I'll tell you how everything plugs in, just kind of outlining the parts right now. Paleo robot head, two of the Paleo robot or the dino claw things, feet, hands, whatever you want to call it, and then the top of the Paleo tail. It's angled like it's angled sideways so that I can get the bend over here on that joint. And so let me see what's the best way to take this apart. You know what? All right, we can start by removing the Paleo robot head. And that Paleo robot head is plugged into the rack hip covering, and then you actually plug that in last, and I'm going to tell you why. So we'll remove it first. And then if you look over here, this thing is just and sorry guys, I'm going to get better lighting so that you don't see so much shadow over here, but for now, just bear with me. This thing all opens up. This thing all opens up, which is kind of cool. It could kind of become like a crab hand if you want it, but whatever. For this build, it's like this. And so as you can see, this is the rack hip covering and the rack tail, and it's just plugged into the top of the Paleotrex tail part. And the Paleotrex little tail bit has two of these pegs on each side. Yeah. And so what you're doing first is how do I have that? All right, now I'm messing it up, but it's okay. And little pieces of paper falling out, but that's okay too. So I think I had it like this. So you basically have that plugged in at the heel area, and then you also have this plugged in at the other heel area. And then what you're doing is you're orienting these little pegs, the pegs down here, and you're plugging them in to the crest. And then that covers it up, and it's all cool. And see how there's that empty cavity, that space, and you can see that little hole? That is where, if I could find the head, that's where you're plugging the head. And it kind of cinches all of that together. Yeah? Yeah? So again, you take the top of the Paleo tail, plug in the heels, extend the legs down, plug the little pegs into the rack dino crest, which you can remove from the dino head, and plug the dinosaur head through, connect that to the rack hip covering, and then you got the tail over here, and that's the entire other arm. Really cool, huh? I like that a lot. I like that a lot. If you hear the noise outside, it's because, like I said, I don't have a ton of time, and it is morning right now, and there are sounds alive. Today is recycling and garbage day and stuff like that, and so God bless all the garbage men and all the recycling folk, men and women who keep our place clean and tidy and stuff, because we would be living in filth. When I lived in Amsterdam for a little bit, there was one time where the city workers, they went on strike, and nobody was cleaning up the city. Yo, it got filthy quick. You got filthy quick. You got to imagine Amsterdam's this big place, this hustle and bustle, a lot of tourism, and just, of course, the native people, the native Dutch folk who are living there. That place got dirty fast, man. And then that's when you realize, like, wow, I took these guys for granted, and so you develop a very, very deep sense of appreciation for everyone. Yeah, so many people just behind the scenes who do stuff to make happen. Oh, over here, by the way, was the rack hip connector, which was plugged into the rest of the forearm, the bow, and then that gives him all that like mobility, yeah. And so anyway, let's move that aside. I'm gonna separate his butt. Okay, his tail thing over here is kind of gnarly. We got the rack dino head plugged into the chin of the Paleotrex dino head, and then in the rear you connect the wing dino head, and you got the combiner thing over here just as added support. But this you can configure however you want. The most important thing is that peg, that dark gray peg needs to, and then the lower mouth, it has to fit right in here. So yeah, you're squeezing the dude's face on his butt, but it's just toys, man. And I think it looks cool. And that's what you need to do. And it has to be like that. The lower jaw has to fit into that space, and then the peg has to go right there. Yeah. Yeah. And then the rest you plug in however. And so I'm going to remove that for now. And then if you're familiar with V4, the legs are kind of similar. We'll just crack him in half over here. The legs are pretty similar. They are utilizing the blade of the Paleotrex, that axe blade thing, as the center hip portion. And then in the back, we have the Wingfinger thighs shaped like so, plugged into these pegs that protrude out. Then you extend them forward, and on that port, that's where you plug in this leg thigh bit, which is the Wingfinger top torso, Paleotrex buckler, and then the other side is the Paleotrex thighs. And for the feet are obviously the Wingfinger, oops, the Wingfinger like calves, and you extend out, and then you make them look like that. Yeah, and so that's going to be your base, or the base that I've been using for a lot of these combiners. Sometimes I've flipped them forward, sometimes I've plugged them on the other side, but the parts more or less kind of remain the same, and then you just kind of fiddle with the fit and finish until you get a silhouette contour that's stable and looks good. Yeah, yeah, like so. All right, move that to the side. The top portion. This is not that difficult. This is one rack torso, and then you got the big rack legs plugged into his shoulders with the ankles bent up like this. Look at all these pieces of paper. Yeah, and as the ankles are bent forward, you see that? You plug in the forearms for Wingfinger, then you plug in the tiny rack spears into the fists, and it just kind of fills out that cavity right there. And then you got the tiny rack arms plugged into the top of the little holes on top of the big rack legs. Extend them down as the shoulders kind of bicep connection, and then you plug in the arms right there. And then on the back, you have what is it? Paleotrex's tail. Whoa, whoa! That car is making my place vibrate. Whoa, must be a huge car. Like, whoa, seriously, that must be some like crazy construction vehicle or something, because my place is shaking like an earthquake. But yeah, you got the paleo tail plugged in to make it look like it's the Robin Quivers, and then yeah, you get that plugged in like that. He's already looking good, right? Yeah. And this one, because the little piece of paper fell out, the fit may not be perfect, but whatever's clever. We're doing the best. We're doing the best to our endeavor. And despite the weather kind of seeming gloomy, no need to be. I don't know. Actually, yeah, the weather's kind of gloomy outside, but I'm with it. It's been hot like a mofo for a little bit, And then also there's a fire going on. We got in California, so that stuff coming down to where I live and making it look like Fallout outside. I swear to God, it's all yellow and stuff, and yeah, it's kind of crazy. Let's see. Oh yeah, his tail bit. Where was it? How did we have this? I think it was like that. Yeah, but again, the tail bit you can plug in. You can do whatever you want with it. And but for the sake of this video, let's just do that. Get his arm plugged in like so. And that's our guy. Yeah, that's our guy. I think he looks dope. I mean, he could probably look cooler if I put him in a bit of a cooler stance and strengthened his joints over here. But another time, buddy. Another time. And so, yeah, sorry, these videos have been going a little bit longer than 10 minutes, but I think the complexity behind these builds and me just trying to do my best, a thorough job to explain these things to you have been kind of making them run long. Also, like I said, these videos take an hour and a half to 2.5 hours to upload versus the 30 minutes before. I hope you like the new video quality and the audio quality. I'm doing my best, using the best cutlery and dishes to make sure that the food that I serve to y'all is done properly. Yeah, thank you so much for your time, guys, and I hope you like these builds. If you have any questions about how I'm making these or something that I wasn't clear about, please let me know. And again, if you like what you hear, if you like what you see, please subscribe, give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that so you can help the channel grow. And yeah, I think that's it. So Agent Orange, over and out for today, and I will talk to you all very, very soon. Take care. Peace.